For the last 2.5 days, volunteers have been keeping the whales alive. It's clear that these boys haven't been playing by the rules.
Undersized fish. What I'm going to get you to do is come aboard here.
Abby Brown's prayer is for 24 pilot whales that survived a mass stranding at Kapawairua, or Spirits Bay in the far north. By the time rescuers arrived, the stranding had turned into a real tragedy, and many of the whales were beyond help.
Originally, we had 49 live whales on the beach. Some of them had been there all day and were right at the far end of the beach, and there was just absolutely nothing we could do for them, so we euthanized them. There were 5 stranded at the eastern end of the beach that were right up on the rocks, and again we couldn't get to them, so we euthanized them, and we had a further 25 alive on the beach. Unknown number of dead whales, and that's mainly because the ones that were dead got sucked back out to sea because the sea was so big.
Any of these medium-sized guys would probably work.
Dr. Ingrid Visser from the Orca Research Trust arrived on the beach early on the first day of the rescue.
We managed to get as many animals as we could out of the surf. It was just huge surf conditions, really, really dangerous for both the animals and the people. But we got them up onto the beach with diggers right up above the high tide mark, kept them wet and cool and calm during the night. And then yesterday we moved them from the beach into the lagoon here, which is the end of a little freshwater creek. And we held them here for the rest of the day and overnight.
The area isn't a known stranding site, and while there's been a lot of research into strandings, nobody can be sure why they happen.
In terms of what triggers a stranding, that varies. It's like saying, well, you know, what caused a car accident? It can be any number of things, and it's the same with a whale stranding. Often it's one of the individuals is injured or has something wrong with it, and then the others respond, and kind of like we would if there's somebody that's hurt or injured, we go and help them. They do the same thing for their fellow pod members.
Nobody's in doubt about why they're here.
As a human being, it's one of my responsibilities to take care of animals.
That's the love of the whales. And I just absolutely adore them. I think they are most amazing mammals.
How can you say no?
The next step is to get the whales back into the water, but the rough seas at Spirits Bay makes it impossible to release them here.
We can't relaunch them here at Spirits Bay. It's a huge sea and the weather's not going to change for another 2 to 3 days. So our only real option is getting them to the east coast where there's no swell.
The trucks are lined with sand and straw, and the long loading process begins. The lifting frames are specially designed to avoid crushing the animals. But before you can pick them up, you have to get the mat under the whale.
Hey, sweetheart, it's only me. It's all right, darling. It's okay. Gotcha. This is Joe Burger.
Was it Joe Burger?
No, it's not. No, it's not Joe.
What is it?
I thought, no, it's not Joe.
It's Rolly.
Is it Rolly?
It's Rolly.
I'm always getting the two of them mixed up because they've both got a big, Rolly. Well, then that's okay.
Joe Burger is smaller.
Smaller, right.
In spite of the heat, the trucks have to move slowly to avoid further injuries to the whales. Auckland's Tamaki River is one of the busiest recreational boat harbours in New Zealand. So today, fishery officers are checking that everyone's sticking to the rules.
We're sort of in the Panmure area. We're just going to check these boats here that have come further up the river to retrieve. So we'll just see what their catches are. So how did the fishing go today?
Only 27.
Yeah? So 3 of you?
Yeah.
Did you count all your fish? Yeah.
The man appears to know the rules. The catch limit for snapper is 9 per person per day.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I make it 28. So you're 1 over. So what's happened here that you got 28 instead of 27?
Oh, this is my boy, because the numbers told me 27.
Ah, so you agree that there's 28 fish here?
His son's bad maths could make this one of the most expensive fish bought in Auckland today. And the bad news is he won't even get to eat it.
Because there's been an offence detected here, it's one excess fish, so we'll take that one excess and we'll dump it back out at sea. Have you ever had an infringement notice or a warning from fisheries before?
Alcohol?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe last month.
While the man's disappointed, it's not all bad news. Officers let him choose which fish will be returned to the sea.
Grab one of the smaller ones if you want. Cool. Okay. Thanks.
Sorry.
Okay.
He may be full of apologies, but as a repeat offender, the father received a warning for exceeding his snapper quota. It takes several hours to load all the whales, but eventually the convoy is ready to start the 50-kilometre journey to Raroa Beach on the east coast.
We've got to get going pretty quickly because it's actually getting quite hot, so that some of the ones that have been in trucks for a while are feeling uncomfortable.
Come on, buddies, take a breath and then... There you go.
In spite of the heat, the trucks have to move slowly to avoid further injuries to the whales. But even with the greatest of care, 3 die on the way.
So far, most of them have done really well. Unfortunately, we lost 3 whales on the trip, and they were just here in the last little bit, you know, literally they could see the ocean. But we lost Buddy, Rolly and Scarface, which is really, really sad. But we're hopeful for the others. You know, they seem to be doing really well. They're sitting cool and calm out there and just waiting for their release moment. One of them is an escapee and has taken off out to sea, which is a good thing, but we don't want them to just all head out willy-nilly. We need to get them together as a group and head out together. Because the bonding is so strong with these animals, if we send them out just all over the place randomly, then they're likely to go up the beach and strand somewhere else. But if we can get them together as a group, then they'll support each other if one of them's not really very well or still has a bit of an injury or still isn't orientated, and then they can head out together as a group.
Finally, as darkness falls, the last of the whales is returned to the sea.
We're just lifting the last whale out, and it's gone really smoothly, and it's actually still light, which was a real bonus. So yeah, as soon as we get them all together in a group, we'll push the pontoon whales out, probably about 500 metres, and we'll let them go. They're all in amazing condition and just ready to get out of here.
The rescue faced more sadness the following day, when 7 of the 21 survivors re-beached at Raroa and had to be euthanased. The other 14 were never seen again. Back at the Tamaki River, the patrol team have just spotted a dinghy reported to be taking undersized fish.
Hello, Ministry of Fisheries, we're just going to try and come alongside.
Once fishery officers start measuring snapper, it's clear that these boys haven't been playing by the rules.
Undersized fish. What I'm going to get you to do is come aboard here. 2 undersized fish. 2 undersized? 2 undersized.
The fishermen are adamant they have followed the rules.
I have been measured.
But there's no disputing the facts.
It's just under 27. The nose of the fish goes up against the board there. Okay, and you measure in the V in the tail. That's still alive, so I'm going to put him back now. Yeah, he'll survive.
Moving on to the second fish, things don't get any better.
26.5. 26.5.
To make matters worse, one of the men admits this isn't his first offence.
You in trouble with fisheries before?
Oh yeah, 2 years ago.
So he could now be up for a serious fine.
What was that for?
This is not netting area.
Sorry? Oh, netting.
Netting.
Okay.
With darkness falling and a steady stream of boats heading for Half Moon Bay,
A huge stream of boats coming in, look at them all.
Anna decides to head for shore with the fishermen.
It's pretty busy, as you can see, it's still bedlam out here actually.
Leaving Jody to finish his interview, Anna finds the ground crew are having the same issue. Boaties pushing their luck a little too far.
Yeah, so undersized there.
Okay, so this is a kingfish. They need to be 75 centimetres in length, and this one's way too short.
Happy with that?
This one is about 58.
What we've had here, we've got 28 snapper, 1 undersized, and the measurement of this one is 26.6.
With the last boat leaving the harbour, A busy day finally comes to an end for the fishery officers.
We've checked probably about 120, 130 boats tonight, and out of that we got 6 smallish offences. That percentage is quite good. It seems like the message is getting through.